There was a time when a family of six could get into a Walt Disney World resort for under $300. Now, today, officially, the Disney company has announced that Disneyland tickets have reached above $200 for certain tiers. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my friend who has to pay that big money if he wants to be a theme park expert, Mr. Vash Sky. Vash, you got $200, man?
Ooh, well, maybe perhaps not my wallet right now, but I'll be, collecting the pennies over the next couple of months in order to afford at least a single day.
Yeah, perhaps you could get a Disney Chase Visa here. By the way, it's actually 206 for that one there. Oh, great. My goodness. This tweet there from Scott Guston. Here, let's go to that one instead of my snarky comment about it. New theme park ticket prices at Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure Park. Ooh, for that one? Increased an average of 5.9 to 6.5% effective today. The cheapest one-day ticket, Tier 0, remains $104, but the most expensive, Tier 6, is now $206. When in the world is Tier 0? Vash?
Yeah, it's almost never is the answer to that question. Actually, I think Scott Guston has a chart depicting all of the times when Tier 0 applies. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up.
Here we go.
Audience right here. Yep,
if we look, it is January 3rd through the 5th, January 10th through the 12th, and a little bit of time here, November 4th through the 6th. There's a couple here and there. There we go, January.
So we have less than 25 days of Tier 0 in the entire year, or at least this range that they're providing us. That's great.
I'm just going to say this: there is no day of the year that I would pay $200 to go to Disney California Adventure. No day a year.
Well, yeah, that's a park hopper option if you're looking to go to DCA for a single day. That is.
I'm going to throw this on here. This doesn't include park hoppers.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, if you want to visit DCA, I don't think anybody will reasonably do that with a Tier 6 ticket unless it has a park hopper option applied to it. Hello there, Vash Sky here. I wanted to go ahead and walk you guys through a little bit about the updates to park hopping. Specifically, when we mentioned it, this actually didn't catch my eye at the time, so I wanted to go ahead and include it here. You can see my screen. This is the Disneyland website here. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 day tickets available. And there is also a park hopper option. And you can actually see on that one day, it's anywhere between 65 to 75. This is in stark contrast to how it worked before, where park hopping was just a flat fee. Usually it was just $60 additional, no matter how many days you actually had as part of your base ticket. And well, now that's no longer the case. If you actually go to the 2-day, we can see right here, $85, 3-day, $90, 4-day, $95, and 5-day, $105. That is what we're looking at right here. Leslie Harvey on Twitter actually had a pretty good tweet about this. She says Disneyland ticket prices went up today at pretty expected rates, but what is shocking is the price increase for a park hopper option. A 5-day park hopper now costs an extra $105, up from $75 last year. A couple of years ago, hopping was a $60 flat fee regardless of the length of ticket. So that is a big jump right there. So there, depending on what actually you end up opting for when it comes to purchasing tickets on Disneyland website for your Disney vacation, at least at Disneyland Resort, you might be charged a lot more than you were ever before. And again, for I would say less value than there was before. We'll get back to that right in the video. These are very large or substantial, I think, price increases that weren't all that unpredictable. I guess MiceChat actually put out in their update on Monday saying, hey, around this time they usually increase prices, and they did last year following the week that they broke out the first time that they put out that $50 kid offer. Well, we covered it last week, Jonas, but they put out again that $50 offer for children, and well, the week after. Here we go. We're right here with these price increases. And I will say, an average of 6% increase, but for what exactly, Jonas? I mean, there's no shows in the Hyperion, no shows in the Fantasyland Theater, no shows in the Golden Horseshoe, no Tomorrowland bands, no swing dancing, no dragon. By the way, that's still missing. Less entertainment than ever before. No new rides for at least 5 years. Now we're hearing that Coco and Avatar might actually be delayed due to where they might actually end up placing those attractions. Whole other story for another time. And only one reimagining in 2024, that being Tiana's Bite Adventure. I'm not really seeing the justification for this price increase. And in fact, there have been some Wall Street analysts that have said, yeah, this investment of $60 billion is a way for them to justify these year-over-year price increases. But for the average guest looking at this, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, first of all, tearing out Splash Mountain in order to replace it with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I know there's a lot of people who want to make that into a cultural issue. No, it's just a great ride, and there's a reason that ride was popular, and now it's being replaced with something that they're struggling quite a bit to keep that thing running out at Walt Disney World Resort. We've heard some theories on why it's not running correctly, and that should be solved for Disneyland, but that is a theory. I still don't know. Apparently, we'll have a video on it later, but they're announcing that they will be doing pass holder previews. By the way, at this point, if you have the option of going on a tier 6 day or getting an Inspire Pass, let's see, 8.5 days. That's all you have to do to justify getting an Inspire Pass as opposed to going on a tier 6 day. So if you're halfway there on a busy season, it's probably better to get that, the most ridiculously priced of Magic Key passes there. As I said before, it doesn't include Park Hopper. So if you're the kind of person that thinks that you need to do a Park Hopper, which does not make sense at Walt Disney World Resort because you have to travel in order to get from one park to another. It's not like you walk outside and then just walk over like you do between Disney's California Adventure and Disneyland Park. There's a certain segment of the audience that hates that I call it Disney's California Adventure with the S, but here I go anyways. Maybe it's worth it here, but that's totally up to you. I don't see it listed, by the way, on Park Hopper. And then there's Lightning Lane Multipass. Again, this is one that I don't know what it is on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, Lightning Lane Multipass is kind of a mixed bag on whether or not it actually helps you. And I don't see any listing for the individual Lightning Lanes here. This to me, looking at multi-days and looking at one-day tickets and then the tier system here, this is more confusing than it probably should be because people pick them according to whatever day they start their trip. I don't know if Disney just says, oh, well, you got one of these in here, so we'll go ahead and charge you that price for everything. This, to me, is the opposite of what Walt wanted to do with his parks. I know that he wanted to make money. I'm not questioning that. He was a capitalist through and through. But I think $200 a day, that's too much at this point. I don't see this as something that an average family would go and do on a regular basis.
Well, I'm going to push back on you just a little bit, Jonas, when it comes to Walt Disney wanting to make money. Yes, he did want to make money, but he said over and over again, the only reason why he wanted to make money really was so that he could provide even more entertainment experiences, new movies, and so forth, so that he could only bring more projects to fruition with that level of money-making revenue that was brought in. Well, Roy had he had some frustrations surrounding that, as one could imagine. But I look at the year-over-year increases here, and usually they were always precipitated by more investment to the parks, and we just have not seen that. I understand, Josh Gemar wants to get up on stage and say, "Oh, all this is shovel-ready" and everything like that, but at least when it comes to Disneyland Resort, that's not been the case at all. You mentioned before, Jonas, how you'd have to invest so much in order to justify the purchase of various keys and so forth. Ryan Theme Park has a great chart out there. I'll link it in the description. I'll link all of this in the description, by the way, so you can actually see the breakdowns here. And you also mentioned Lightning Lane. It looks like that will be increased as well. Lightning Lane Multipass, at least pre-purchase arrivals, will go from $30 to $32. But they're also saying that they're going to have this kind of extra unlock feature in which they'll offer a 50% discount on that Lightning Lane Multipass between January 6th to the 31st. And this is kind of bizarre here because, well, we have heard through the grapevine, actually, I want to go ahead and give the person their due on who actually gave me this information. It's Friedrich CW on Twitter. All he does is track a lot of this stuff, and specifically lightning lanes, return times, and so forth. And due to the data that you can actually find yourself, if you were to track it for a long enough period of time, you can actually see what those lightning lane sales, at least multipass, might actually look like, depending on how those times are pushed out. And he's been suggesting that for a little while now, lightning lane sales have actually gone down. So that might actually be a method of inducing more sales, at least at Disneyland Resort.
That's also a fair point. And this is all before the announcement of the rumored Lightning Lane Premium Pass that is supposedly coming down the bend that Blog Mickey reported showed up in the app for a brief period of time. So there's already some kind of IT infrastructure in place on some level. Who knows? It might have just been a graphic. It then disappeared later. Of course, if they are doing something like that, and they're heavily rumored that they will be doing something like that, it's probably going to be something closer to the Express Pass pricing that they have over there at Universal. Of course, the dirty secret here, and because we want to be fair, Universal Studios often raises prices to match Disney's level. I haven't seen a $200 ticket from them just yet, but I wouldn't be shocked at this point if they followed suit. I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be shocked. Of course, out in Florida, there's probably going to be some announcement that is similar, and then of course when Epic Universe comes out, Universal will do the same. They have no reason not to raise prices when they are building what looks like it's going to be the most technologically advanced theme park in the world in Orlando. So,
but at least consumers can actually justify that purchase, right? It's like, well, there's a brand new park that you want to buy into, so it kind of makes sense. At Disneyland Resort, we've just seen nothing new, and actually we've seen a lot of things stripped away. And so that example that I talked about before, where Walt Disney was looking to bring in as much revenue as possible in order to offer more, that just hasn't been the case with modern Disney, and it's been so unfortunate. It almost seems like they're wanting to squeeze all the blood from that stone even further in order to make up for their, poor decisions, especially when it comes to their DTC division.
And all of that, and they don't even have a Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy anymore.
It's heartbreaking, Jones.
That being said, we want to throw this to our commenters. What do you think about this? Okay, $200. Is that the kind of price that you would pay to go visit Disneyland on, by the way, its most crowded day of the year? Because they only reserve that tier 6 pricing for when they know they've got a lot of people in those parks, making it, I'm just going to say, as a guy who likes to go to theme parks, the absolute worst day to go to Disneyland. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Wow, I really put my thumb on the scale on that one today, didn't I? Like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.